So we're here at Our Lady Seat of Wisdom House of Studies in Isolo, and we're just going to take some time to speak with these young men about who they are and how they got here so that you can get to know them better.
Okay, my name is John Chukwu Kalkerilu. I am from Anambra State in the eastern part of Nigeria. I joined this House of Studies, Our Lady Seat of Wisdom House of Studies, in September 24, 2016. And what convinced me, what led to my leaving the Noble Order and becoming a true Catholic was an article I stumbled upon on the website traditionalmass.org, precisely that written by Bishop Sambo and Father Chikada, where Father Chikada was talking about, explained what a Catholic is obliged to believe. A Catholic is obliged to believe what is contained in sacred scripture and tradition, and what is proposed as divinely revealed by the Solemn Magisterium or the Ordinary Universal Magisterium, which is the bishop's teaching in union with the Pope, either spread throughout the world or in a council. And also what the theologians hold as being part of the faith, that we are bound to believe all of these things, not just the solemn magisterium, as I discovered later before I discovered this. And also where Bishop Sambon explained something about the properties of the church, which is that the church is both infallible and indefectible. Infallibility stating that the church cannot teach error, and indefectibility saying that the church would remain essentially the same way as Christ founded it. All of these things put together with my knowledge of what I knew of Vatican II didn't really go well, because I know that Vatican II taught things which were not compatible with past Catholic teaching. So for instance, Vatican II would teach religious liberty, that people are free, everyone is free to believe whatever religion, to be in any religion he deems fit, without any hindrance whatsoever. But the church condemned that very proposition, particularly Mortalium Animus of Pope Pius XI. So when I saw these things, at first I was hesitant, because initially I thought that the Vatican II popes were true popes, especially John Paul II, of whom I bear his name, John. But upon discovering these things and seeing their incompatibility, I had to make the logical conclusion that either these men are true popes and the church is now no longer infallible but fallible, or there are no popes and the church's infallibility and indefectibility are saved. So when I came across this, I had to make the logical conclusion, and that's what eventually brought me here in 2016.
And you are hoping to go to major seminary at Most Holy Trinity, but you're waiting on an immigration visa.
Yes.
All right, well, we will keep that in our prayers.
Thank you very much.
I am Ojeka Thomas Thompson Ayakana from Cross River State, south of Nigeria. I started my experience in this House of Studies on the 30th of September 2017. Having left the Novus Ordo officially on the 1st of August 2017, after I became convinced of the Sede Vacantis position as the only appropriate response to the modern Vatican II apostasy. How I came about this conviction took some space of 2 to 3 years. When I began I was already a religious seminarian in the Novus Ordo after 9 years. And just after the end of my philosophical studies, I came across the document titled The Permanent Instruction of the Atlas Vendita in one of my personal researches. And I got interested in reading about this document. Then, beginning my theological studies, I took serious some slogans from my professors and formators concerning good Pope John, Vatican II being the best thing that has happened to the church in modern times, and also concerning the aggiornamento of Vatican II about some dogmas, for instance, outside the church there's no salvation, I got interested in them. I wanted to find out how true these slogans were. In fact, let me say I started up to confirm these slogans, but at the just in the middle of my research, I realized that I was out to disprove them. I realized that John the 23rd is not a good Pope John, but the expected anti-pope from the Masonic plan to destroy the Catholic Church after many years of infiltration of the various structures of the Catholic Church, in the bid to decatholicize the world and also to rid the earth of any idea of Christianity. I came to see Vatican II Council for what it really is, a council of heretics and apostate apostles. It became clear to me that I was not being trained to be a Catholic priest, but rather a cleric of an ecumenical pan-religion to promote the apostasy of Vatican II through religious and theological indifference. And it became clear to me that I have the obligation to withdraw obedience to heretical and the modernist heretical impostors in order to manifest my faith that the church, which is the mystical body of Christ, is the infallible ground of truth. Because the evidence that this institution imposing itself as a Catholic Church, that this institution is a ground of errors and sacrilegious errors, rather, I'll put it, the evidence was too plain for me to keep a blind eye to.
And you are also waiting on a possible immigration visa to join the seminary.
Yes, we look forward to what Providence has in store for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Paul Pascal Mensah. I'm from Ghana. I come partially from the Volta region of Ghana and partially from the Ashanti region. And I came to know about the faith in 2011. In that year, when I was preparing to resume seminary in the Novo Sodo, a woman in the church just discussed it to me after she realized I had problems with the then parish priest. So she invited me to attend an indoor mass, where I attended the mass for a week. But in that confusion, after the mass, I went home to really do a thorough research, where I ended up, first of all, the first website I Google address to me was traditionalmass.org, Bishop Samuel's website. So I clicked on the article Old versus New. It was a link. So it was just giving me a very big picture of the old mass and the new mass. And being in the Novo Sodo for that a long time, and just coming from the indoor mass, I really saw the picture very clearly. So I made my decision. But what really made me agree with Bishop Samuel in the things he was pointing out on the website was, he said the four main errors of the Vatican II Council: ecumenism, religious liberty, unity of the church, and then collegiality, which was really, it was a surprise to me to get to know those things. So having that knowledge of trying to be in the seminary around that time, so I contacted him through the seminary phone. I spoke to him. He led me to Father Nkamuke. At the time, he was in a study in the seminary, and then I got to know that there's a priest coming to Nigeria to say the mass. So I got a chance to see the mass a second time, this time up close. But I realized that it was a different mass I attended in the first place when I was in Ghana. So it was Father Larabi who was explaining to me the differences in the doctrines in that particular mass. So I realized that mass was for the FSSP, who are still somehow hooked with the Novus Ordo. So, like I said initially, it was these four particular errors. Ecumenism, which says, outside the Catholic Church, one can be saved, which Pope Pius the Seventh, Pope Pius the Ninth, Pope Gregory the 16th has condemned. That it can't be like that. And also collegiality, when it has got to do with Vatican II saying that the papal throne is is for the Pope and the College of Bishops, which has been condemned already in the past in the history of the church. So I was convinced with Bishop Sambon's explanatory points he was making there. So I contacted Father Nkamuke, who already knew me in 2013, 2015. He came to Ghana to say the Mass. He knew my intention to join the priesthood. So through Brother Augustine Mary, I got here on 12 October 2017, and I started my enrollment, and I'm here today.
Thank you.
My name is Ikiamo Alenogana Benjamin. I am from Edo State, the south region of Nigeria. I got to know about the true faith through a Novus Ordo seminarian that was transferred to the Novus Ordo parish that I was. And I'm this type that is very curious, that asks questions. And I made friend with this Novus Ordo seminarian and started asking him questions concerning the church. And as time goes on, we started discussing about how the Council of Vatican II came into existence in the 1960s. So when we were discussing about all these things, unfortunately, it was transferred and went back to school. And I took up this course by making research on how this council came into existence. And I went into a website named the Novus Ordo org. So I started seeing the errors of Vatican II, which are error of collegiality, that the Pope and the College of Bishops are the legitimate head, and which is very heretical. Christ did not entrust his church to the College of Bishops and the Pope, but entrusted his church to St. Peter alone, who is the first Holy Father. Through these errors, I started making more research, and first I ended up in the FSSP congregation, and which was received advice from that I should. The FSSP are still with the Novus Ordite religion, and I started making research more and more. So I discovered the Sedevacantist position, which believe in the papacy, in the papal infallibility, that outside the church there's no salvation, and of which this teaching Vatican II are opposing. And when I got into the Sedevacantist position, I found a member who introduced me to Father Nkamuke, and he gave me the contact, and I contacted him on Facebook. On a grateful October 24th, 2016, he came to our place down in Agenebode in Edo State to celebrate the first Tridentine Mass, where I witnessed it first. And my faith became very broad when I saw this Mass, and I started saying my rosary, praying and reading the missals and the books he gave me. So I find myself here. I've been desperate to become a priest since my childhood. Even as a Novus Ordo, I've been desperate to become their priest. And when I discovered that this is not the right path for me, I shared my idea with Father when he came at that 2016, and I resumed here 30th of September 2017. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least.
My name is Chukwuebuka Michael Herbert. I am from the southeast of Nigeria, this is Abia State, and I'm an aspirant here. I came here to this Seat of Wisdom House of Study to join the seminarians running for the priesthood. I came here as a result. I was convinced of the faith, of the true traditional Catholic faith. I was convinced of this faith when I was still at Kano, that is the northern part of Nigeria. I was convinced of this faith through the internet. I was this kind of person who was curious and always searching for many things, try to get more knowledge about what is happening around, both in the news and other things, both weather forecast. And suddenly I came across a website that is doomsdaytube.com. That was where I saw a lot of things written there by some editors, which I don't know their name. They wrote a lot of things about the heresies of Vatican II popes, anti-popes. Then when I came across all this, I was surprised and I'm like, how come how come Catholics will write such a thing like this, heresies of anti-pope, calling the pope an anti-pope? So I was so much confused and I wanted to know more. Then I started to read, to make research. And in the process of reading, I became convinced because before then I was conservative in the Novus Ordo. I still held some Catholic belief even before I became converted to these traditional faiths, such as no salvation outside the church. I was the kind of person who normally believes that if you're not a Catholic, it will be very difficult for you to make heaven, and very impossible to make heaven. And again, I was seeing a lot of errors happening with Novus Ordo then, but as a result of I was still young and I don't know what to do, I just take it as okay, this is some of the abuses in the church which need to be corrected. But I never made any move or any aim to correct or to help the case. I just believed it so. And before then, I've always desired to be a priest. And I usually think something like, if I be a priest, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to change a lot of things happening around, a lot of the errors I encountered then in the Novus Ordo. Then when I came across this website, I saw the heresies of Antipope Paul VI, John the 23rd, John Paul II. I started reading on them and I found out a lot of things which these popes, anti-popes, taught were totally against the Catholic Church, Catholic teachings. I became more curious, went into Google, kept on my research, and I continued discovering that a lot of things were totally changed. Right back then in 1962, in the Second Vatican Council, to 1965, I was first of all held by John the 23rd, followed by Paul VI. I saw that there were a lot of things that was changed in the Catholic Church. Then when I saw this, I was quickly convinced because before then I was conservative in the Novus Ordo. Then from there, I entered through Facebook. I was able to meet Father Nkamuke through some of my friends also who were traditional Catholics, which I met there. They were the one who gave me his number, but I didn't call him. But somehow divine providence has its way. I came from the northern part of Nigeria where I know the faith does not exist there, down to the eastern part of Nigeria, which is the southeastern part of Nigeria. There was where God made a way for me. I became a traditional Catholic on the very first 3rd of December 2017. That was when I first attended my first Tridentine Mass, which was celebrated by Father Nkamuke. And then my faith became more stronger and I kept on the faith and more zealous to spread the faith. And from there, I spoke to him about me coming here, my desires of being a priest. And from there, he told me that, okay, I will be able to come, that I should come. And here am I today as an aspirant for this house of study.
Well, we wish you perseverance.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of you for taking some time out of your day to share with everybody.